Welcome to episode number 20.
Number 20.
Of Old Heads, Young Minds, our podcast. I am Allison Fine.
I am Robert Penner.
And today's an exciting episode.
Because why? Because it's episode 20?
Because it's episode 20. That's a lot, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If you look on Spotify or Apple Music, there are podcasts that put out one episode and they're like, fuck it. This is way harder than I thought, or whatever, right? Yeah. And we put out 20 episodes. I'm proud of us.
Yeah, me too. I'm proud.
I don't know. We have some announcements to make. I don't know at what point we should put those to be on. I guess we just put them now.
We could do that now.
Or we could do it after you good.
Yeah.
All right, do you good first.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. We just taped episode 19 as well. If you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it with Ashley Bodner. She's a comedian, a mom.
Mm-hmm. She brought snacks.
Yeah, she brought some amazing snacks. So future guests, you know, the bar is set between Kristen Spiegman and Ashley Bodner. If one dude showed up with like a 20-piece McChicken to share, I'd be impressed at this point.
That's nice.
Dudes don't think that way.
Sounds great.
20-piece McChicken. What do you dip your chicken nuggets in?
I usually do hot mustard and honey mustard.
Wrong.
What do you got?
Just honey. I'm telling you, bro.
I think Trey used to like that.
Fresh nuggets and honey. It's melt in your mouth, McDonald's goodness. Just try it sometime. So yeah, I'm good. That was a great episode. By the time this comes out, I'll be in Canada. I should be in Canada in the middle of 9 days with Sterling Scott. We talked about that a bunch. I have my mom is actually coming up to stay with Samantha, so that's cool. And then next week will be Thanksgiving, and we'll be with you and your family.
We're going to do some, I like having Thanksgiving in my house.
Yeah. So, I think we'll probably do what we did last year, which is go over to my stepson's family's house first or second or both. Like, I think last year we went to your house and then left and then came back.
Play some dominoes, maybe some dominoes or Uno.
Yeah, and some other stuff that we're going to talk about later in the episode that I'm excited about. So it'll be Thanksgiving. I also have a show in Bellingham on the 24th. I have a show in with Gabe Rutledge that I'm hosting on the 25th. So a lot of stuff coming up. I'm excited about. Overall, you know, it's the holidays. We're going to talk about that. So overall, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm good. You didn't even ask me. You're supposed to ask.
You good?
I like being asked. It's like you do. You always lead it. No, I'm good. I'm excited. Tomorrow, I know this is going to be after. Tomorrow, I mentioned in episode 19, I'm closing out TCC on 6, and it's kind of a...
So by now you have done it and crushed it, I'm sure.
Just crushed it. And I'm wearing my shirt. Just got shirts.
Well, the Texas goodbye.
You can hit me up if you want a shirt. So.
He's got merch, y'all.
I got merch.
He's got merch.
I don't know. Whatever. No, I'm good. I'm excited. Episode 20.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, let's get into the get down. It's not going to be a very long episode.
No, we don't have much time.
Because we spent a lot more time with Ashley than we expected, which was not bad.
No, that's a great episode. Great episode. Go check it out.
So the get down, that's the big segment when it's just Rob and I. Usually we talk about like current events. First we have some announcements and then we have a topic. Announcement number 1 is this is the end of our season.
Of season 1.
I know somebody was probably like, ooh.
Well, I hope they get in the fucking podcast. Fuck those
podcast. No, this is the end of our first season.
We decided that we're going to make a 20 episode season.
Right.
And so episode 20, season 1.
Yeah. So this is the end of our first season. How do you feel about the last 20 episodes? The last 19 episodes, I guess.
I learned a lot. I learned the good and good things and bad things. We had a lot of good guests on. I think I've grown.
Do you have a favorite guest?
Oh, I can't do that.
You know?
Because I'll shy somebody. I can't say there's really some good guests.
Do you have an episode that you think was our best guest episode?
Our best guest episode? Well, I like Melanie. Yeah, I like Melanie's episode.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't mean to shite anybody else. I'm saying.
Be real. He hates you. That's what.
No.
Lisa Rimmer.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
No, I like Melanie. I learned.
You guys are white.
I think I asked more in that episode, and I
sat really back because I'm friends with her.
And then I learned more. I grew up as a person learning from her. And so
the senior comic is big.
Yeah.
I was just on a show this weekend with Ty Burnett, and Ty Burnett said that he would come do the show. We can either figure out a way to do it remotely, or next time he's in town. I just saw Nick give us a thumbs up. He's excited about that.
He's like,
even though he did not come and see me do comedy.
What would be funny if we wouldn't have had, and we would just shown up. We didn't tell him because we never tell him the guests.
I know. I wish I would have thought about it ahead of time and planned better. Because if we would have taped yesterday, we could have done it. That was not smart of me. But you live and you learn. So having senior comics on definitely learned a lot. I don't have a favorite guest or a favorite episode necessarily.
No?
I think Brandon Parker's episode was great, like, because you got to know that's a real interesting story, you know, from being popular and doing a thing, and then the hustle taking all of that away.
Yeah.
And then what he did in prison to, like, prepare himself to get out.
Right.
And then who he is as a man today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people, I wanted him on the episode because I knew some of that.
So you made me pick a favorite episode to shice everybody else, but not you. I gotta pick a favorite.
I just said I like Christian.
Okay,
I mean, I like Brandon's. I also like Christian Page's was great.
I'm just messing with you.
I mean, Kristen was really awesome. Like listening to Kristen talk about, you know, I know in some ways I'm generalizing here, but like you look at a woman like Kristen who's white, you know, red hair, she's pretty, she's well put together, and you think, oh, she's never struggled a day in her life. But then she came in and talking about how she had to move back home and she didn't have a car, and you know what I'm saying, she was taking the bus up to Seattle or Bellevue to the shop. And like I think we've done a good job, honestly, like bringing a lot of diversity to the podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm proud of us for that.
Yeah, that's very much so.
Not just diversity in race, but like gender, you know, gender expression by having JoJo as our first guest, you know, having Joe, an actual Mexican, unlike you, want to be Mexican. like we've had a lot of good guests. So, and it's weird because you think it's only been 20 episodes, but over half of them, I think, have had guests. So I'm grateful. And we still have a list of people we want to invite. So,
and I think our best not, I think I have two favorite not guest episodes.
Which one?
Number 2, obviously, even though it's not a good, like, because
why was number 2 so important to you?
Because I get to express all my trauma and get it out there for the world, you know, and.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
It's okay.
I don't know why I've been hungry this whole fucking episode.
We on the episode, and then probably that latest one we were just about the communication.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Rooted in Oakland.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah.
No, let's talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I mean, number 2 was hard because it was intentional. We wanted people to understand. Part of the motivation for this was to talk about trauma and mental health and all those things. I talk about my trauma a lot, so I'm more comfortable with it for sure. But I was proud of what that episode turned into.
Right.
So I like that. That's a good episode.
Yeah.
That's a good episode. I think a lot of our episodes are. I don't know. I'm just really proud of this podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stay Hydrated Studios and our producer, Nick Nook, who's, you know, honestly, and we've said it before, all I can do is reiterate it. Like, we are in such a lucky position to have met you, and like, shout out to Stephen Ryan for, you know, bringing us together. So Stephen, you've done one good thing in your life, other than having your son. So 2 good things. But no, Stephen.
We love you, Stephen.
Stephen pairing us with Nook and it working out that way is great. Because it's easy to work with. Like, Nook feels like home. You know what I'm saying? Like, he feels like a member of our family at this point. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate you always being here, Nook, for us.
Love you too.
And so, So yeah, I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm glad that we've done it. I also feel like we have learned, going back and listening to it. Your partner Alyssa listens to it every week, which is nice because then it's like we can get feedback from her about things. And I'm excited for the future. So let's talk about the future. So this episode, in theory, will come out mid-November. And then we decided to take a little break.
We're going to take a break, and our next episode for season 2 will hopefully come out the first Wednesday of January.
That's the 3rd of January. Yeah, so we will probably record. End of December.
Yeah,
and then come back for the start of season 2.
And we did this partially. It is the holidays, and we want to spend time with family. But also, I think we needed a little pause, and I think we've talked about doing like maybe some live, or maybe at least on our Instagram, probably post videos of like a dope or trash, maybe at Thanksgiving.
Well, I also noticed I don't think that our Instagram's going to Facebook.
Okay, well, we need to situate that.
Right. So that's you know what I'm saying. Like we need to get those videos onto Facebook, and we're gonna work on finding some sponsors. That's a goal. It's been a goal, but I'm gonna make some calls and talk to some people and try and see if we can get some sponsors. There's also some opportunities. There's a comic from Portland who gave me some information about some arts funding that maybe we could get. Cool. That might be able, I have to look at the grants and stuff, but it might be something that we could get that would help sponsor us financially a little bit because it is expensive.
Yeah.
I think we should maybe talk about starting a Patreon or something, like if that's something we want to do. I don't know. I think that we have a really great content. We just need more people to listen to us. So part of what we'll do during the break is like reissue these episodes or just push them again on social media.
Maybe find some more reels in the social media.
100%. We have a lot of great moments so we can make more reels.
Yeah.
And we're going to do dope or trash. So a bunch of us will probably be together at Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have hiccups. I mean, at Thanksgiving.
I had an idea and it just came to me.
What?
Like doing like man on the street, dope or trash.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying when I was saying like do it in person.
I could just take the video of one time and then put be the same topic maybe and just.
And then clip it out.
Yeah.
Right. So honestly, I think that'd be fun to do at like an open mic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is that one of us, we could just do like, we could go on camera and both of us say like, dope or trash the topic and then have like 10 people say dope, trash or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we could do some marketing stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pay for some sponsored ads on social media. Actually, I want to talk about Google as well, because I think Google is up and coming like paid marketing that's working for people.
Okay.
To get our podcast out there.
Got it. Okay.
This is not real, but the other day when I was thinking about this part of our podcast, so a podcast I listen to religiously called The New Rory and Mal Show, which we were just talking about off air about, they came from Joe Budden's show. Mm-hmm. They were like his sidekicks, and then they had beef, and so they took their show, and it's, Mal is like a 40-year-old black dude, and he's like a curmudgeon at times, but he's also like a hood rat at times. He's just Mal is a lot. And then Rory, who's like 32, I think, and he's a ginger, but obviously grew up in the hood. And they have a really great cast. And they tour sometimes. And I just noticed every time they tour, they always have a podcast come and open for them. And so they put out like a thing online that's like, oh no, we're coming, LA, we're coming. What's your favorite podcast? We need an opener. And I'm like, I want to get an opener.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So I really like to like get our numbers up and really get people, listening to our podcast, because I think the work we do is good. Yeah. So it's not just because it's us. I truly think the work we do is good. And that's the feedback I get from people.
Okay, good.
So after this episode, we're going to take a break. We'll be back January 3rd if all goes well. But let's talk about our topic real quick of the day. There's many different outlets. In fact, my friend David, tomorrow I'm probably going to be on his podcast talking about the same topic, which is just the holidays and mental health and just some things to key into, maybe some ideas to like keep your mental health up, because we think of the holidays as times where you're around family and times that are joyful. But the reality is, we know that's not always the case, right? And I will say, first of all, family hurts you more than anyone, right? So if you have a family that's broken, or you've had beef this year with your family and now you're expected to get together at Thanksgiving and everyone's just cool, that's really hard to do, or you're being really fake, or you drink a lot and now drama starts. And like, it's not always, some TV family, Thanksgiving or Christmas because of family drama.
Yeah. God, this is coming up right now. I went to the wedding recently. There was some family drama that happened, and
I mean, I saw what you wore, so
it wasn't about that. There's some substance abuse in part of my family.
Yep.
Like very bad, and
drugs or alcohol?
Drugs.
Okay.
And like this known person in my family has OD'd and on heroin and came out of it
to death
and came out of it. Okay. And
they're still using?
Supposedly got better and was at the wedding, and it was a part of the wedding, and was could tell there was moments that he was dope sick. And there was some confrontation. But also on his side, his feelings were nobody was there for him.
Right.
There were some things in that, and it was just it was sad to be like that. There was supposed to be a wedding and a moment of celebration of these two people coming together, and some. It didn't highlight. I don't know if everybody knew about everything, but it did highlight a moment in that. And that's
the thing. So you live in a different state from them, right? They're in Kentucky, but are all those people going to get together at Christmas and act like that never happened?
Right.
We I can't lie. Like growing up, my dad had 7 brothers and sisters. All my grandparents were alive. Like we had huge Christmases. Like we did Christmas Eve in my dad's house because they were Catholic. So we went to midnight mass and we did presents and all of this stuff. My grandma had the biggest tree I've ever seen, whatever. And then we went to my other grandparents the next day, and we had great holidays growing up, right? But then as you become an adult and life happens and people die and people, all of this other stuff, it's not always great.
Yeah, it's not always.
And I will speak for myself. The same way my stabbing has kind of colored my birthday because it's all in 1 week. It's a 5-day gap right there. My dad died on the 27th of November. My dad died 3 days after Thanksgiving. Yeah. My dad went to the hospital on Thanksgiving night. Like I literally, we're having Thanksgiving in my parents' house. My parents had just moved into a house that was 1 story and had a pool. They were just renting it, right? They got rid of their house because my dad is 2-story and my dad was having like mobility issues in some ways. He just had, he has COPD, right? So walking up the stairs and stuff was a little bit difficult. Right. So they got rid of their house. They had just gotten to this house that was rented. They also were kind of like lightweight hoarders for a while. So like having my little nephews around, because they were babies back then, was tough. So they just moved into the house. We had our first Thanksgiving together as a family at my parents' house. And then my mom and I got into an argument, after the dishes or something. And my husband and I were like, we're going home. And so we took Samantha. Samantha had been with us for like 5 months at that point.
Oh, okay.
And we went home, which is literally half a mile away. We lived around the corner from my parents. As we walked in the house, I get a text from my mom that said, 911, dad fell. And I was like, shit. Okay. So we get back to the house. My mom is laying on the floor next to my dad. Did you call 911? No, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, mom, call 911. They came out. They took my dad to the hospital. So that's Thursday night, obviously. And my dad died Sunday morning. So
okay, these are things that, for whatever reason, I never knew.
Yeah, it's just
learning from
Thanksgiving is hard.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving is a ridiculous holiday at this point, anyways, right? Like the meaning behind it. And
we don't celebrate the way
like
it's supposed to be.
Columbus Day, right? Like we're celebrating when we came and killed an entire population, right?
I like to highlight the thanks of Thanksgiving. Like
I like the family time.
And the family time, right.
I get and I respect and I love the family time. However, I also live in Seattle, far away from my family now.
Yeah.
And now my dad's death will forever color this in a sadness.
Right.
And that's just what it is. So the holidays for me can be really hard. Christmas time is always weird. I have so many Christmas decorations. I have like 4 trees, I have an all black tree. I have a rainbow tree. I have a little one. I have, I'm saying I haven't put out Christmas decorations in this apartment that I'm in the townhouse I live in now. And that's 4 years.
Yeah.
Cause I just get there and I'm like, meh, it's weird.
Yeah. I get it.
I'm not really into the holidays anymore like that, but I do like spending time with people.
Yeah.
And when I was working, I'm not working right now, so it's a bit different. But, when you're working, it's nice 3 or 4 days off to be with your loved ones. I like going to Snowflake Lane in Bellevue.
Okay.
Have you been?
I've been, a couple. When I lived here the first time, I had been.
I love going to Snowflake Lane. That's a big thing for us, yes.
I think I'm going to try to make it up to Leavenworth this year. Have you been?
No, I've never been at all, and definitely not in the Christmas time.
It's kind of nice at Christmas time.
Well, let's see if we can plan a trip.
Yeah.
The hiccup. So holidays are just weird for a lot of people for a lot of reasons, right? Right now, my family's Jewish by heritage and by culture. And even though we don't celebrate Hanukkah, I have a lot of, like my aunt who just moved back from Israel. It's like, I was just thinking last night, like, what's Hanukkah going to be like for her? You know what I'm saying? Like,
during this time,
she just left Israel and now they have friends and family that are missing and dying, and even though I'm Jewish, I'm very much of I don't necessarily think the way that we're handling the situation is the best. The other side of that is Hamas keeps saying, we're going to kill all the Jews. So, like, what choice do we have? I don't know. This is a fucked up situation, period.
I don't even understand the whole thing. And so I don't want to speak on it too much because I don't understand it.
My thing is, if somebody broke into your house and tried to kill you, I don't care if it was your brother. Are you going to let your brother kill you, or are you going to kill your brother?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a perfect analogy, but it's...
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my brother. I love him. But what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he came after my kid. Whatever. This is a fucked up situation. So I was just thinking, like, man, the holidays are coming. And, like, how do you celebrate Hanukkah when you're Israeli? Or how do you celebrate,
Well, still, even if you're a Christian and Christmas, and there's Christians connected to Israel as a whole.
There's Christians in Palestine too.
It's a whole thing. And then not even just that. Just how are you? Like, there's a lot of trauma in
the world, right? The way the world. Next year is the presidential election, and that's very scary because people are. We don't want to get into that. We don't have time. But the way of the world is hard. So you have family drama. So you have micro level drama, and then you have macro level drama, which is the rest of the fucking world that's all fucked up. So, I would just say we know that holidays are hard on people's mental health. A lot of queer kids grow up without family. So if they don't have a chosen family, they're alone,
I think that's what sparked...
Those queer kids become queer adults, let's be clear.
I think that's what sparked the whole, like, being welcoming at Thanksgiving is I think Katie had told me about a coworker that first year that couldn't go to family functions because they came out. And so I wanted to be the house of welcoming people, and like, fuck all that shit, you need to play. And this is a shout out. Like, anybody listening to this podcast, you need a place to hang for Thanksgiving, come over.
You better bring good snacks.
But bring good snacks.
And we don't have to do vegan this year because Katie is abandoning us.
Yeah. Katie's going on a cruise to Cozumel with Voldemort's sister.
Fuck Katie. You can let her know. Show her the clip. Very mad because you're not going to be there. I'm just playing. I'm glad that she's going. I mean, I'm glad they're going, but like, you don't know if Corey's going to be there, right?
I haven't that conversation yet. So.
Well, my mom's going to be there too, so it'll be a little different. Your mom's going
to be there, I think.
Oh, Alyssa and her daughter, right?
Alyssa and daughter.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Hagen's confirmed.
It'll be fun, whatever it is. Yeah. But I just, people's mental health suffers.
Yeah.
What I would say is, have a trusted person that you can talk to. Be mindful of where you're at. If your teens are changing, if you just can't, you're not getting out of bed, things like that. And then there's some resources that I will put in the comments of this episode, both on the pod and in YouTube. with some mental health stuff. You know, there's always a suicide prevention line. We talked about that 988. But do you have any like tips for like staying or dealing with mental health stuff?
I'll be honest with you. What I have learned for me personally, and I can't speak for anybody, is own it. In a sense, if you're
just be real about it.
If you're struggling, own it.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing for me is when I don't admit that I'm going through this shit, it makes it worse.
People often don't say it into my face. I'm sure they say it behind my back, but people sometimes think I over process too much on social media. But I'm like, that's how I'm getting my.
That's how you process.
Like, let's be real. Like, Facebook has been around for like 12, 14 years at this point, right? So like I process externally for a million reasons. We talked about this a bit on the pod. Like when I talked about having a miscarriage, all these people came out of the shadows. Like, oh my God, thank you for sharing your experience. When I talk about what's going on in my life, you often get either support or people saying, me too. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced, thanks for talking about it. So I just recently had a situation where I had to set some boundaries with people that I love and I don't understand really what's going on, but I know I need to protect my heart. So I said something about it. And I just said that I was hurt because like there's some people I care about that I'm hurting. I didn't name names. I didn't get into specifics because it's not just one person, but it's, you know, it's just a general feeling about some things. And a lot of people reached out to me and checked on me. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm an external processor, and I think that's good for my mental health because it is letting that stuff out a little bit. So
I think in the past I had closeted myself, and you know,
you were gay.
Yeah, no.
Wait till Alyssa hears this episode.
Hell yeah.
No, I think it's
and you know, and not
everyone should do whatever they're comfortable with.
But try to find out what that is.
I think that being honest. You don't have to do it for the world on social media the way I do. But even if you just have that one trusted person, like, don't be afraid. And I think, like, you know, like, you could reach out to me anytime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Day or night, you could call me and I would be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's like, you're fucking tripping, go back to bed. Like, but we have a very special relationship that way. Everyone should try and find a person. Also, like, you know, if you're into church or there's community groups, there's lots of things that people can do to find community. You can also just be okay with not being okay, but don't let that last too long. Yeah. Because that's when depression takes over and that's when, you know, intrusive thoughts can start and bad things can happen. Yeah. But always remember that there's people out there that will help you. You know, there's the resources, like I said, you know, and if you get to the point where you start questioning whether you belong in this world, you do. Yeah, you do. There is someone that cares for you. 100%. You know, and I have to tell myself that a lot. You know? I mean, you know? I get that. I've said it. Yeah, I've said it before. Like I know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends. You know, and the people I know are my true friends. I'm grateful for. You know, and sometimes they're new friends, sometimes they're old friends. Yeah. But there's always somebody that does care for you, and if not, you have to do a little effort though. Like you have to put yourself in a position to be cared for. That's true. And that's the stuff that people struggle with. Yeah. Sometimes people are like, no one checks on me, no one cares about me, and it's like, who do you check on? Like we're all going through it. We're all living. We just all went through COVID. We all are going through. Is there a world war about to start? Like we're all going through that together. You know, and like in America. And I know we're like an internationally known podcast and all, but like in America, we have things so easy, even on our worst day. You know, there's an earthquake yesterday in Nepal, and 150 people have died so far, right? Yeah. And they say this is the worst earthquake since 2015. Do you want to know how many people died in Nepal in 2015? 9,000 people. That's bigger than some towns. Yeah. In America. Right. That's significantly bigger than some towns in America. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not saying that the feelings that we are feeling aren't real, but like, I try and give myself perspective. I'll go back to the situation with my dad. I don't think we've talked about this. My dad died on Sunday, November 27th, 2011. I was 33 years old. Again, very unexpected. Like, he ended up in the hospital, but we had no idea that he was going to have a heart attack and die, right? Two of my friends from high school. One was my grade, and then one when we were freshmen, his sister was a senior. So Kelly and Paul Bryan, who I'm still friends with today. Their dad died November 27th, which was a Sunday, 1981. Paul was 3. I did not have enough time with my dad.
Yeah.
It was really hard that day when my grandpa walked in the room and hugged my mom. And I'm like, why do you get to have your dad and I don't get to have mine, right? But I had 33 years on this earth. Paul had 3. He had no core memories of his father. So I try and keep that perspective. You know, that's what, because I suffer from depression, that's a technique for me to like, okay, I can own that this is a shitty moment, but man, it can be so much worse. So it's a technique that I would recommend if you don't do that already, is just look for the other things around you and realize, it's weird, this is going to sound dumb, but maybe it doesn't. This is why I specifically watch Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives on VH1.
Is that your outlet?
I like those. I like reality TV, but those are the two I like because these bitches are rich. They're beautiful. They have these, you know, what seem to be really amazing lives, and they still got drama all the fucking time. Okay. And it just shows me that like I could be a basic bitch with a regular job and a regular life, and their money, their access to plastic surgery, their rich husbands or whatever. We're all the same at the end of the day. We all have some bullshit going on. Yeah. So, you know, it kind of brings me back to reality, grounds me in a way. You know? So I just think for the holidays, we should acknowledge that they're hard times. And also, I can't speak for Rob, but I believe, I kind of believe that I can. If you guys are watching this podcast or you're listening to this podcast somewhere and you need a friend, like, find us online. Hit us up. Yeah. Like, we are kind, loving spirits at the end of the day.
Yeah, we are.
I have a rough edge, but at the end of the day, I'm a good human. So
me too.
Oh, that's actually, that's why I wore this shirt. Because this shirt, I don't know, you can probably see it. It says, believe there's good in the world, and then be the good is highlighted.
I like that.
And that's I love this saying. Because there is good in the world, but we also have to be an active part of the process. Right. So that's why I am available if someone wants to talk, or you just need a hug, or you want to call and scream about whatever's going on. Like last night, I had to call you and be like, can I tell you about some shit that I'm really fucking irritated about that I'm not going to tell anybody else about, you know? And
I'm glad we have that relationship.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, we do have that kind of relationship. Not everybody does have this kind of relationship, obviously, with someone, but I'm lucky that I have you. Yeah. And
me same.
And I'm that person for a lot of people too. So so take care of your mental health. Have a great holidays. It's okay if you don't do shit for your holidays. Just check on yourself. And if you need support, reach out to someone. We'll put resources in the episode notes. We're not going to do dope or trash because we're going to do some dope or trash that we're going to just throw right into our social media. Yeah. But like, Nook, how are you feeling?
Sleepy.
As always. Are you excited about the holidays? How do you feel about that?
I'm not big on the holidays.
Oh yeah, you don't really like holidays. But do you do all the things because you're the dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do everything.
Do you Christmas shop?
Shop?
Yeah.
I'm pretty poor, but I do what I can.
I mean, like, do you physically go and help pick out stuff for your kids or?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then you get stuff for your wife or whatever? We know she likes to spend the money. We've heard it.
Yeah, she's good at it.
I bet. Anything you want to contribute to episode 20?
20 is a good round number. I like 20.
So you just think we should end the podcast here? Or we should
No,
go?
no.
Okay.
It's like, no, I need the money.
If you're listening to this and you do need a studio, either to podcast in or to record music in, or to record, your first spoken word album or whatever. If you need beats, Stay Hydrated Studio is pretty well versed in all the things when it comes to this.
Yeah.
They're also very kind to work with. Like we said at the beginning, like we're very grateful to have Lamont in our podcast family. So, anything else before we go?
No. I'm just like, what else is there?
I don't know. Keep an eye on our social media. I think we're gonna
try to do it better.
We're gonna do some stuff to promote the podcast. Talk about if we want to restructure anything for next year.
Send us ideas. We're open to that.
Yeah, and
Doper trash ideas, or
if you follow us online, or if you will follow us online, especially on Instagram, set it up on your Instagram to like click the little bell so you'll see all of our notifications, because we're gonna do some Doper trash lives, and we're gonna do some recorded pieces. We'll probably do some other stuff that you'll see coming up. Maybe we'll do some previews of some guests. But we put Doper trash together. I mean, we put old heads, young minds together because we just felt like there was something to bring to the world. And in some ways, we're almost vessels of information because we're bringing other people to the world. And again, I continue to be proud of the work that we're doing, and I think we have a good podcast.
I do too.
I love it.
I love it
a lot. So, anything else before we bounce out? Well, I guess we'll see you in 2024.
2024.
I'm grateful to be here. I love you, friend.
I love you too.
And Lamont, we love you.
They do.
I was like, is he going to speak? Maybe one day we're going to figure it out so Lamont can actually be our guest. I don't know how we're doing that, but at least for part of the episode. Maybe we'll do like a you and I episode and we'll just have him come in for a segment.
Or he'll just teach one of us to.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. No,
not me.
My brain don't work like that. It's been a great 20 episodes. I'm excited for the next 20.
Me too.
40, 60, 80, whatever we do. And we'll see you next year.
See you next year.
Peace out.